The U.S. says Iranian boats harassed and provoked 3 Navy warships in international waters. CNN Pentagon correspondent Barbara Starr joining us. Barbara, what's this all about?
Well, Heidi, the question is, did the Iranian Navy really try and take on the U.S. Navy in the Persian Gulf Saturday night? Apparently so. According to U.S. military officials, they have confirmed to CNN that 5 Iranian naval vessels described as attack craft that the U.S. believes were operated by the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Saturday night harassed and provoked 3 U.S. Navy warships sailing in those international waters, which of course is a choke point for much of the world's oil supplies. According to several U.S. military officials we've spoken to in the last several minutes, the 5 Iranian ships made threatening maneuvers against the U.S. Navy warships and threatening radio transmissions. U.S. officials tell CNN that one of those Iranian radio transmissions said the following, quote, "I am coming at you. You will explode in a couple of minutes." Officials also just now confirming to CNN that one of the Iranian ships was observed to be dropping a number of white boxes into the water right in front of one of the U.S. Navy warships. Now, the U.S. Navy had we are told, had all of its gun stations manned. No shots were fired. Nobody was hurt. But in fact, one of the U.S. Navy captains of one of those ships was in the process of giving the order to shoot when the Iranians finally turned away. The question now for the U.S. Navy is, what were the Iranians up to? Were they simply trying to provoke the U.S. Navy into an international incident? Were they trying to test U.S. naval defenses? What was going on? That's what the U.S. Navy wants to know. Officials here this morning describing this incident as significant. Heidi?
Wow, I guess so. I mean, it sounds like from the description there and certainly from the transcription of that radio call, very aggressive behavior. Barbara, give us a sense, if you could, how often something like this seems to happen in these international waters.
Well, this, from having covered this for a number of years, it's been many, many years since the Iranians have taken, if all of this is confirmed to have happened just as the U.S. Navy, as the U.S. military says, many years since the Iranians have taken such a direct, aggressive action. I think that one can expect the Iranian government may have a different public statement later today, now that this has come to light. But the important point that U.S. military officials make is they were sailing in international waters. This is not a dispute about coastal boundaries. This is not what we saw several months ago when those British sailors were seized, and there was some discussion about where's the international boundary line. This is the Strait of Hormuz, international waters, and of course one of the most critical choke points for much of the world's oil supplies, Heidi, something the U.S. military is taking very seriously.
This is coalition warship. I am engaged in transit passage in accordance with international law. This is coalition warship. I am engaged in transit passage in accordance with international law. I intend no harm. Over. Surface contact.
Yeah, record.
Inbound unidentified small surface contacts. Bearing 270, approximately 2 miles from coalition warships. You're approaching a coalition warship operating in international waters. Request you establish communications, identify yourself, and state your intentions. Over.
High-speed maneuvering craft bearing 280 from harbor. Personnel inside each craft, 1 outboard engine. Over. Yeah, we're conducting level 1 on bridge to bridge, flashing light, and just starting out the house.
5 unidentified small surface contacts inbound coalition warships. You are approaching a coalition warship operating in international waters. Request you establish communications. Identify yourself and state your
Okay, they just turned.
inbound small craft. You are approaching a coalition warship operating in international waters. Your identity is not known. Your intentions are unclear. You are standing into danger and may be subject to defensive measures. Request you establish communications now or alter your course immediately to remain clear of it. Request you alter course immediately to remain clear.
You will explode after some minutes.
We will explode after a few minutes.